go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I won't go so easy on you next time. Live and let live. Live and let live. I'll be right back. Live and let live. I won't go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Live and let live. right back. I won't go so easy on you next time. I won't go so easy on you next time. Live and let live. I won't go so easy on you next time. I won't go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back. I won't go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Live and let live.
Booty hole to you too. I said booty hole to you too.
Live and let live.
Booty hole to you too. I don't know how to speak clearer than that. Booty hole to you too. Something wrong? I guess. Whatever you want me to be. Am I not clear enough?
I'll be right back.
I don't know how you didn't understand me. You're talking too loud into the microphone. Bad. Oh, yeah, it's too.
Live and let
I
live.
wasn't talking loud at all. I'm talking the same as I always was. I just lowered my mic. Yeah, it was too high in the red. There's nothing I can do about that.
I'll be right back.
That's the shit I was talking about. It's too high into the red of OBS. It was distorting. I'm not looking for anything.
Live and let live.
Yes. I've been doing that for the last probably... Actually, I've been doing that for probably 90% of my stream.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Overdrive modes. This specific overdrive mode.
I'll be right back.
It makes your overdrive meter fill when you run. I'm just unlocking it. You have to unlock all the overdrive states by doing certain actions. Running, killing, dying, fighting with low health, fighting while status. It's part of 100% for me. And Coward takes the most. Because I legit gotta flee a certain amount of times for every character. And I've been doing it for the last, I don't know, 5 hours?
Live and let live.
5, 6 hours? I guess. You want to call it time? I guess. It's nothing like that at all. It's just me running from a battle.
I'll be right back.
Because I'm not looking for anything. There's no comparison. I'm just fleeing from a battle until the ship procs. No, you're fine. I'm just being honest.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Flee a number of times and this will... I'll earn it. That's all I want it for, is to unlock it. There's nothing special
right
about
back.
Flee. I did it for every other overdrive state. Again, they just fill up your meter.
Live and let live.
Unfortunately, they take forever. Luckily me, I had half my cast already done. And I just finished up Riku's and Mari's. Now I gotta do Yuna's and Lulu's. Both of which have over 900 runs. For Yuna's, I need 900 fleas. For Lulu, I need 980. Orin's was 1,000.
I'll be right back.
I mean, I've already done them I've already done the bulk of them 2 years ago. Now I'm just finishing it up.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Eventually, you'll see the word coward proc on top of my screen. Once done enough. Titus is only in my party just because everyone else is done but Lulu and Yuna's.
Live and let live. so easy on you next time.
Yuna's been in my party for some time, so she should be getting it soon. I've already done frickin' Kamari's and Riku's all while Yuna was in my party. She should be close. Been doing this for the last 5 hours or so. All at the Calm Lands. I just decided to come here because it has higher encounter rate. And over there. Yeah, that clips me. No, the shoutouts will tell you what your last game is. The clips are random.
Live and let live.
I have it set to where it can pull a clip from months ago or days ago. I think the limit is like 100 days or something like that.
I won't go so
I
easy
forget
on
what
you
the
next
limit
time.
is. It's random. Let's see what's... No, sorry. The highest I can have it set for is a year. So it pulls clips from 360 days ago. Anywhere from one day to 360 days. If I have it set to 0, it won't pull anything. Like that is old. That's 2018. Holy, that is way too old. I don't know what's going on with my hair there.
Live and let live.
No, yeah. Well, I didn't say it was completely accurate. That's what the website says. It still pulls clips at random. Not a mohawk. It wasn't a mohawk at all. It was just a piece of my hair sticking up.
I'll be right back.
Well, if I turn my head in that shot, you'll see it's just a piece of my hair in the front. I don't have enough hair for a mohawk. Well, at least back then I didn't. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing in that video. Probably grinding. Oh, stop hitting Titus already.
Live and let live.
Mohawks are shit. I'm not into that style. No, thank you. They do not look good.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Auto counter? Yeah. That's his weapon. See? It's part of his ultimate weapon. It was a ruby dragon. I don't know if it's the same that you're familiar with. It's the same model looking dragon, but it's not called ruby dragon. It's just dragon or something or other.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he shoots fire, but he's not the same thing. It's completely different. They just reuse a lot of monsters. Again, it's Final Fantasy. You're gonna see reused monsters. Like the weapons in every other game. This game doesn't. This game doesn't. It has Omega, and that's it.
Live and let live.
Yes, Gorilla. I mean, those dragons are tanky. They will tank some of your damage if you are able to break their defense with a defense break, then you can hit them. Hurt them. Otherwise, like, if you actually fight them, you'll hear the certain sound effect of them just taking the damage. Otherwise, they're not really that difficult. Probably the hardest enemy here, or at least one of them. But they're not as tough as the one that you're probably familiar with from 8. Thank you for the hydrate. Unfortunately, my webcam is not up, as it's dark in my room,
I'll be right back.
and Tiffany hasn't gotten used to having my ring light on at all times. And not only that, she's asleep. So it might be a while before she's used to webcam. At least from the angle I'm sitting at. Once I get my computer and I'm back at my desk, then yes. But then she still gets to get used to my ring light. Blue Dragon, the Hexadragon are the hardest. Yeah, there is no dragons in this game that I'm aware of, like them anyway. Aside from Bahamut, but there is no... It might look like the same thing, but he's not the same thing. The Dark Aeons, all your summons, like Bahamut and them, they're just normal dog. I don't really know how to answer that question. Just a normal dog that has a potential to, I think, kill you with a bite. That's what I recall. Not fully sure on his attacks. The machine on the other side is a machina, basically robot. It's weak to steel. Literally, if you steal from it, it dies. The dog, he has some weird death attack. Not really familiar with him too much because they're too busy dying. Woo, which Waka hates. Yes. At least throughout most of the game, he starts to be okay with them towards the end, and then by 10-2, he's fully okay with them. Because eventually you learn that the Elped are not bad. They were just hated for no reason. Because Yu Yevon hates Zanarkand, and Zanarkand was a Machina city. Not that the Elped are from there, but they use Forbidden Machina, basically the equivalent of using drugs in this sense, I guess, the best way to put it. But they believe that the Machina is what caused sin, when in reality, sin was created by the church. Now, here's the thing. Yu Yevon is a Zanarkand priest who, after Zanarkand was wiped out, the priest basically summons Sin's armor. And every 10 years, and Jecht is that current Sin. But it wasn't so much the Machina that caused it. It was it was the Spira that went to war with Zanarkand that caused the hatred that brought Sin to life. They're just different, so they believe they're in power. The Spira is basically the government and the religion of this game, and they want to be in power, so they took out Zanarkand and went to war with them. Zanarkand wanted revenge. Yu Yevon, the final boss of the game. After you meet Yunalesca, you decide who becomes the summoner, or you decide who becomes Jecht, aka Braska did so, and that became Jecht. Braska gave up his life to fight Jecht, or gave up his life to fight the previous Sin, which then turned Jecht into the next one, because he used Jecht to become the final Aeon to beat that Sin, which in this game you break that cycle, but that's basically the gist. Is they didn't like them, so they wiped them out. And they retaliated back. So they made robots, aka Machina, illegal, in a sense, even though Spira, Bavel, which is the church, the government of Spira, uses Machina still. No surprise. No one really knows that until later. And at this point in the game, everyone already knows. Because, like, the higher-ups the government, Braska, like Yuna's father, Braska, was like one of the higher ups of one side. Then you have freaking the Guado, which is what Seymour is. He was one of the rich royal families, and he wanted to marry into Yuna's family, so that way it's because it's a political move. So there was that whole fake wedding scene where he's trying to wed her. You end up killing him. They deem you the traitor, and then you realize they are all evil and dead the whole time. Most of them. Most of the guys in the game are all dead. All your maesters, basically priests of the game, they're all dead.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Yep, they're bad. In a sense, Final Fantasy's never strayed away from the sense that religion and the government are evil. In most games. And in this game, it's no different. The only difference is the final boss you actually fight, Yu Yevon, isn't really bad. He wanted revenge. So he's a summoner who constantly respawns Sin every 10 years. When you go to this, there's a boss by the name of Yuna Leska, which is what Yuna's named after. She gives you the option to choose who you want to make as your summoner, the final Aeon, which in the previous generation it was Jecht. Braska, Yuna's father, the summoner, used Jecht, became the Aeon. They beat the prior Sin. Then Jecht's life was forfeit, and now he's Sin, Tidus's father. And then Yu Yevon takes the base of Jecht and covers it in armor. That is Sin. Sin is basically just armor. That's why it looks like a giant space whale. To beat it, end the cycle, is you have to kill Yu Yevon, and since it's already dead, you have to basically send its spirit to heaven. And Yuna has the ability to send dead souls to heaven, which is why, or the far plane in the game's sense, which is why Seymour Guado is still alive throughout most of the game's events, because once you first fight him, he dies. And that's why you keep fighting him. And his final battle before his final battle before he goes inside of Sin is at Gagazet here. Unfortunately, he ends up wiping out most the Ronso, which is what Kamari's race is, and you end up eventually fighting Seymour one last time inside. But the only problem is with him is he is a half Guado, half human. And he decided to wanted to climb up the political ladder by killing his own father. He's corrupt. That's why you fight him. And then he ends up wanting to marry Yuna, because Yuna is the daughter of Lord Braska, who was the High Summoner of the prior generation, 10 years prior. And it was just all for political reasons. There was no love for either side. And you could just look up the FFX wedding scene. They basically dip. Yuna ends up getting all dolled up and gets a unwarranted kiss by the guy, and then you can clearly see she wants to punch the fuck out of him. And then there's a fleece, then you help her leave, and then after that you become deemed a traitor. And then every time you try to visit any of the temples, you face the super bosses of the game, known as the Dark Aeons. I've only beaten a handful of them, I think. 3 of them at least. I think I've only beaten 3 of them. I am nowhere near ready for them. I believe I've beaten Valefor, Ifrit, and Ixen. So I think I'm going in order. Because I beat Valefor, I beat Ifrit, and I beat Ixen. Next is Shiva. I think. Then I beat Bahamut, and then that's the last of the main story ones. Because everyone else is optional. You got Anima, Yojimbo, you got Cindy, Mindy, and Mandy. Or Cindy, Sandy, and Mindy. Ugh. They're one summon, actually. These 3 are one summon. And there's Yojimbo, which is the equivalent of Odin.
I'll be right back.
The summon Anima, by the way, is Seymour's mom. Because every summon is basically a human being. Or was. They're known as the Faith. And Seymour's mother became the Faith that becomes Anima. Which is really neat. Side story. Which is why he has it. But he uses it as a tool. He doesn't give a fuck about his mom. Oh, just give me coward already. Just unlock this damn overdrive mode. Damn, this is taking forever. All I want to do is grind my levels a bit, or my stats, Sphere Grid stats, and then figure out
I won't go so easy on you next time.
what I need to do after that. There's a lot of grinding to do for this game. And then I need to beat all the arena monsters, the Calmland arena bosses, and all of the Dark Aeons, and then I can face the super boss of the game. I don't know if I beat Omega or not. I don't remember. If I did, he's not really all that hard for a super boss. He's actually one of the easiest super bosses in the game. Penance, however, is going to be a pain in the ass because I've never beat him. Penance is another gimmicky boss fight in one of these Final Fantasies where, depending on what limb you destroy, he may do certain attacks, or if he has nothing destroyed, he may do certain attacks. Ugh, he's one of those. He's basically Ruby and Emerald weapon of some description.
Live and let live.
It's a giant floating robotic monster thing. I have no idea what the hell it is. And I've not fought it, so it's going to be brand spanking. Well, I have. I attempted it once, and I failed miserably. So it's going to be interesting to beat it for the first time. Blind.
I'll be right back.
Blind as I've never beat it, so I don't know how to beat it. And I don't want to know, because that's part of the fun. Watching me die a million times. I mean, I did it against the other weapons. I'm also 3 a tree. I'm also technically 2. I don't count the full. I'm technically 3 trophies away, but I technically consider it 2 because the last one is complete all of the trophies. So technically, I'm 2 trophies away from beating the game. Complete the Sphere Grid for everybody and fight Penance, and that'll aim complete. Yeah. Yeah, he does.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Bird feeder hanging on a branch. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Yeah, I can go for some nom-noms right now. Aside from chips. A bag of chips is all I really have right now. If it was a little earlier in the morning, I may say I'd go and see what I have in the fridge. I think me and Tiffany ate pretty much all of our food. Well, all of our orders that we ordered, pizza. All of our... Damn you, Lulu, no! Lulu.
I'll be right back.
Gotta love Auto Phoenix. Auto abilities, man, are OP as hell.
I'll be right back.
Keep in mind, it's about 900 fucking runs I have to do, and I've already been doing that for a while now. It's taking forever. Riku's was 450, and the highest is Oran's at 1,000 fleas. This is nonsense. I've gotten everyone completed but those 2. Lulu and Yuna here. Both of which require 900 and 980 respectively.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum.
Live and let live.
Fucking bombs. I've been working at these 2 for the last 2 hours or so.
I'll be right back.
Yuna's been doing this since the start, fucking 5 hours ago, give or take. She should be ready to fucking go. How must have started at 0. That means Lulu I started at 0. I hope
so
not.
Easy on you next time.
If I don't have any fleas with her, this is gonna be a while. Well, it's because it's literally... I know I'm using Flea. Flea counts for everybody in your party. Even if it's just Titus doing it. But it's literally that many number of fleas. I have to flee 900 times for one character. That's all the same. So as long as one person uses flea, that's all one flea for each character. But it's still that many number of times. And I've been doing this for hours now, and she usually sleeps in pretty late. I'm not surprised. I mean, it is 6, but still fairly early. She's usually not up fully until the afternoon. Or it depends on her. She may wake up in an hour or two, but she'll doze on and off throughout the night, morning. So I probably won't expect her to fully be awake until maybe closer to 10. And then probably relax up until the afternoon. She's a lot like me in terms of her sleeping. Wakes up on and off, and then sleeps in till the afternoon. But then again, she's been sleeping soundly since, like, 10, maybe? 11? I don't know what time she went to bed. It was a little later than normal. Yeah, Penance's over... Well, the Dark Aeons have the latter half of them. Not all of them. The latter half of them have well over millions of HP. Penance is going to have, what, 12 million, was it?
Live and let live.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Because I remember fighting him back when I first got him on my Switch version. And I was like, holy hell. Because I know Magus Sisters and Dark Anima in them are like 8 to 10 million or something stupid. Or 9 million.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Or maybe a little less than that. But yeah, Penance is easily the toughest. Well, once I max out the sphere grid for everybody, which I'm nowhere near close, which I have done on the Switch version though, so it's gonna happen, and beat Penance, then yeah, X is platinumed. Keep in mind, I think this is from my original playthroughs on the PS4 version, or I'm on the PS4 version, but there is no PS5 version. I think this is my original, from my original time playing it, as well as probably from PS3. I could be wrong, so I've had a lot of these trophies already. But we'll see. Yep. If coming upon closing in, then I can move on to 10-2. Giving a break to Pokemon and other things, even though I really need to finish those up too, but it's nice to move around. I can't stick... Then again, I did do Pokemon Gen 1, 2, and 3 back-to-back, plus CA, plus a bit of Arceus, so it's just like that. It's nice to change pace. And then... shit ton of Arceus, shit ton of ZA. I'm not burnt out or anything, but hell, it's just... it's good to burn. It's good to jump around. I was hoping ZA would have gotten more stuff. DLC's done. I just need to do optional side quests and finish up my living decks, and that's it.
Live and let live.
That kind of just got tiresome, to be honest. I have, yes. For myself, though, not on stream or anything. I beat the story 100%. I am working on actual 100%. And I'm on chapter 5. I think that's the last chapter. So I'm at the end game on my Switch, going on the second 100%. I need some super bosses and whatever fiends. There's like this bestiary thing, kind of like Pokemon. I guess it's not really, but you basically capture certain fiends, and if you level them up in battle, you can learn their history when they were alive. All fiends were once human. And stuff like that. And it's part of the bestiary in the game, and that's how you get it all. And you can also use them to fight. Even though they're AI controlled, you can fight monsters, other monsters with the fiends in the game. And that's what I was working on. So yes, 10-2 is going to require me to play it twice. And she marries Walker. Yes, Lulu marries Walker, and she gives birth to their son during the events of the game. Are you telling me? Because I long know. Oh yes, I long know. Yeah, she doesn't look pregnant because they didn't want to animate a separate model. It makes sense. I just read that earlier. Are you literally copying a wiki? But yes, no, I am aware. Lulu marries Waka. Actually, there's a secret. Well, that's because Lulu was in love with her brother. Lulu was dating Waka's brother before he died, Chapu. Before the game's events. And they somehow hooked up. You can kind of see it during the events of 10. And if you play through 10, you can kind of see it. That her and Lulu kind of get to start showing signs for each other. There's a scene after Blitzball very early on in the game where Waka shown on screen getting having his ass beat, and he's passed out in the middle of the pool, and Lulu mentions this, and he almost passes out from the exhaustion of getting pummeled, and he nearly passes out in her arms. That's like one moment they have together. You can kind of see it the way they talk. She's kind of mean to him, saying that Titus is not Chapu because they look alike, and Waka wants to believe that he's alive somewhere, even though he's straight up been murdered by... He was murdered in the Machina War years back. And he wants to believe he's alive. And Lulu's kind of a straight up honest with him. But no, they hook up.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Not really sure how exactly, but it's there. Just like how Yuna and Titus have that scene. They have a kissing scene and a swimming scene. It's very, very amazing. But yeah. Yeah, you'll see me play 10-2 eventually. It's gonna be a long playthrough. Give me coward, please. Seriously, Yuna. I know Lulu's probably got very little runs, but you gotta be close.
I'll be right back.
Wish there was a fucking statistic. That would be so nice. Machina.
I'll be right back.
I even came to Gagazet for higher recovery. I even came here for the higher encounter rate. Nemesis, Dark Anima, Nemesis. Oh, that's right, Nemesis. I forgot about that super boss. Yep. Then Dark Bahamut. Ah, no. Dark Anima, yes. Dark Bahamut, I don't know how he's harder. He's not harder than the Magus Sisters. Bahamut is not even an optional summon. He's a mandatory one. Dark Anima and Dark Magus Sisters are easily the tougher of the three of them because they are optional. Yojimbo is even harder than him in my eyes. But this, and these three are the optional summons. They should be way harder than him, but we'll see. But to be fair, I overpower myself. I don't fight and learn these tells and learn spells and learn how to, whatever. I fight and I go ham and wreck them with 99k damage. Like, I overpower myself. That's how I play. I'm not good at tactics at all. I can some games maybe, but I'm not really that good at tactics. I am pure melee.
I'll be right back.
Oi. Oi. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Yes. Very nice poop. Y'all leave me alone. Damn, you know.
Live and let live.
Speaking of, hold on. Overdrive. Mari. Oh, good, you have them all. And Kamari's the blue mage, so he has all of his spells. Or all of the spells I can learn. But sadly, they're overdrive related. I can't just use them. He sucks. He's a blue mage dragoon. How dare they combine my favorite class with blue mage? So awful. Eventually. I believe Nova's from Omega. If that's the case, then I either beat him or just stole it and left. Died or something. Well, died, though. That would have restarted the file. Never mind. And I must have beaten Omega a while ago. He's inside of a optional temple. He is weak and useless. If you're playing the game normally and not overpowering yourself, yes. Even then, he's just not a great character. He's silent most of the time.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
There's really... For a character who's not optional, he has no growth. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like... It's kind of funny, you know? Like, none of the characters in these games are optional.
Live and let live.
And he has no growth. Usually it's the characters who are backstory characters and optional characters that have all the no growth, but none of the characters in this game are optional. Everyone is given to you at certain points in time. And Kamari feels like he's a optional secret character. Everyone else gets character growth. Especially Yuna, Titus, and Riku. Those get the most growth. In my eyes. Yuna specifically is 10-2 though. Hers, she changes significantly by 10-2. Waka and Lulu don't really have much growth, but they're there, and nor does Auron, considering he's dead. But there's that. And then there's Kamari, who just doesn't speak most of the game. He doesn't. No, there's none. No. There is none of that. They're guardians. They're all of Yuna's guardians. They just care and protect her on her journey. There's no bestiality feelings. Don't have to make it weird.
I'll be right back.
Don't have to make it weird. Titus has feelings for her. I don't know where that came from.
Live and let live.
Because you're implying that Yuna would have feelings for him too, then, by stating bestiality is frowned upon. Oh, you don't have to keep gifting me. Thank you.
I won't go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back.
Well, thank you.
Live and let live. I won't go so easy on you next time.
Sure excited to see it. Yeah, well, deserved it then. They deserve it then, I guess. Attacking the shit.
Live and let live. go so
Very
easy on you next
comfortable.
time.
Hope no one heard that. Oh. 82. But I gotta say, I don't really care about my body, dude. You guys are the ones that care about my body. Now you did hear that. That's fine. I don't expect anybody else to be awake. No one's awake here. Oh, chips. Okay. Broken chips on the floor.
I won't go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I won't go so easy on you next time. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Yep, that's me every time I go outside for a cigarette. Just stealth. Like it's
I'll
Metal
be
Gear
right back.
Solid. I'm gonna be walking around with a box soon. No one's gonna see me. And then when I get spotted, I'm gonna have an exclamation mark above my head. And I have a freaking counter.
I won't
Timer.
go so easy on you next time.
Like that Metal Gear Solid timer. Alert status. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
It's tactical espionage. But with Metal Gear Solid is tactical espionage, but with boss fights. No, they're on Xbox as well, and it started on Nintendo. The original Metal Gear is Nintendo, but they're on PlayStation and Xbox. And you can get like the remasters. You can get a lot of the remasters on PlayStation and I'm assuming Xbox. I think they're on everything at this point, minus maybe Switch. But I know they went from Nintendo for the originals. They're on PlayStation. They were on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PS3. Maybe some of them are exclusive. But oh, whoa, hold on. No, I'm still here. What just happened? Game? Come again? What the fuck just happened? I don't know what. I don't know when I got cut off. Must be my. No, it must be my microphone. I must be speaking too loudly into it, and it probably cut me off because of the stupid shit. And as for my game, I don't know what made it freeze there. Or my footage, rather.
I won't go so easy on
But
you
no,
next
Metal
time.
Gear Solid is tactical espionage, but with there's boss fights. And a story. Well, a lot of those games have story, but they're more serious, I think? I'm not really sure. Metal Gear Solid is just... It gets goofy as fuck.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
And it's... just... It goes from, like... a normal stealth type game to more, like, just... It just feels very anime. Because then you got games like Hitman, which I'm sure there's a... I'm sure... No, not at all. Halo is an FPS, or a shooter. Metal Gear Solid is kind of like Hitman in those sense, where you're not really hired to, like, kill certain people, but it's got stealth, and you basically just go around killing, or hiding and whatever, and get to point A to point B or whatever. It's not Hitman at all, but in that sense where it's a tactical stealth game, I'm comparing it in terms of stealth. It has nothing to do... Hitman has more like, you have to kill this guy, and, you know, whatever. If you fail that objective, whatever, it's over. It's kind of like that, in a sense. Like, if you get caught in certain spots in Metal Gear, like... I remember in Metal Gear Solid 1, there was one area that had a bunch of, poison gas that would fill the room if you got caught, or stuff like that. You basically just go around, explore, get guns, find bosses. It's nothing like typical stealth game that you would probably play or whatever. Hitman is another one of those tactical stealth games, but you just go around, you got a mission, you kill the guy you need to kill, and that's it. They're nothing the same aside from that. It's a bad comparison. I'm not really a tactical guy. I don't like tactical stealth games. Metal Gear Solid is a game I played because my brother played it and I grew up on, like, watching it, and it's a fun game other than that. I'm not really into those games, though. But it's a tactical stealth game. But with bosses.
I'll be right back.
But no, it's not like Halo at all. It's probably definitely not your cup of tea, but... I can always play Metal Gear Solid sometime. I own most of them. It's a goofy stealth game that tries to be serious, but is just so unrealistic that it's hilarious. I'm not saying games have to be realistic, but Metal Gear Solid tries to be a serious game, and it definitely is. But then it just gets weird. Very weird. And it's hard to explain why. It almost feels like some of the enemies in the game are supernatural in a sense, or have unique abilities that just don't make sense. Woo!
Live and let live.
They're not alike. Here's a bad comparison. For any stealth fans that's probably screaming at me right now. They're both the same genre though. So it's not hard to look up Metal Gear Solid gameplay and get the idea immediately. And then look up Hitman and you'll see there's similarities in terms of just stealth, but Hitman is more literally, as the name implies, Hitman. You're literally got targets. Metal Gear Solid, you don't really have a specific target. You just gotta go to point A to point B, and you're stopping whoever the main villain of that game happens to be. And Hitman feels more mission-based. More like, oh, you beat that mission. Here's your next goal. Go get that guy now. Maybe they ask you to kill him a certain way. I don't know. I'm just not into that stuff. Siphon Filter is another one. If you've heard of that game, I'm not sure if you've played it, but Siphon Filter is another stealth game, but it's nothing like that either. Because those games are more just kill the guy and not get caught. While Metal Gear Solid is that, the other games don't have the boss fights that Metal Gear Solid does, which is what makes it different and more entertaining for me. Because, yeah. Stealth is not my cup of tea. I don't mind it in, like, some horror games, sure, but when it comes to actual, just a game of nothing but espionage, stealth espionage, no, I'm good on that. Metal Gear Solid is probably the only one I enjoy. And because it's just goofy, it's goofy enough where it's fun. I remember in the second one, you can literally stand up behind a dude and like aim your gun at him, and some guy will just start jiggling because he's afraid to get shot. There's people who like pee themselves and shit. I remember there's like secret dog tags you collect in the second game, and you have to like hold up the guy with the gun from the behind in certain spots, or maybe and if they don't, and each character you get dog tags from, they're all different. Some guys will give it up to you by you just pointing your gun at them. Some dude will bitch at you, so you have to like threaten him by shooting him in the hand or the knees or something, or aim at its crotch. I don't know. It's funny. Dog tags are like little collectibles. I believe you could trade them for things. A certain amount of dog tags get you some. Reactivate the bot. No, I will know when. Nice. Well, most of my setup is set back up. 15's got dog tags. Oh, that's interesting. That's a collectible that I will be working towards then once I get to 15. Oh, that depends on how fun that is. I don't ultimately 100% every game I play, but if it's entertaining enough. The Hunter's Guild? We'll see. Ooh, my goodness. Another Hunter Guild. Man, I'm part of PSO's Hunter Guild. That's my actual that's my stream's gimmick. That's my stream's That's what my streams are based upon. Then there's Monster Hunters Guild. Now that... How many Hunters Guilds am I going to be part of? Oh, that's fine. I want to kill monsters. That's the point of Final Fantasy.
I'll be
Sounds like
right
a
back.
pain. At night, it's the Iron Giant. I'm like, oh god. Yeah, it sounds about right. Iron Giant in Myth early on is a pain in the ass. He's not a boss. He's just a random enemy that appears in the final area of the game, and
Live and let live.
there's two of them. Different ones, too. They're unique. There's two different versions of them, and they are rough early on before I start grinding. Same with Adamantoise. They all appear inside of Sin's body. Adamantoise, the Iron Giant guys, they are rough. Early. By that I mean when I'm not leveled enough, and I'm first arriving inside of the final area. And I start getting fucked left and right. Can't really tell you what they drop in this. I forgot.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
I mean, I basically have every enemy, so I can just go to the freaking Calmlands and battle every single individual enemy. So I don't need to worry about random encounters no more. Except for this. I'm just trying to freaking get a overdrive thing, and it's taking a while. Taking a while. Under Bahamut.
Live and let live.
I haven't played 8 enough to remember that. I remember the enemy here and there, but I don't really remember it that much. Makes sense. Sounds like Underground Bavel.
Live and let live.
Makes sense. 10-2 has that in Bavel. Underground Bavel has certain bosses, certain strong bosses, stronger the more you go down the Bavel's underground, the stronger the bosses are. You end up fighting several bosses from 10 down there. Because they were never technically sent.
I won't go so easy
You
on
fight them in their
next time.
fiend states. And a lot of the main characters that people mention in 10 that aren't in 10 because they're technically gone are actually Underground Bavel. So you see a lot of names that you hear in 10 you wouldn't know because you probably haven't played too much or have never, but either way, there's names that are mentioned, thrown about in this game that you never meet, and you see them as a boss fight in 10-2. Such as Unalesca's baby daddy, husbando. Unalesca's a boss in this game. You fight her in Underground Bavel in 10-2 as well.
Live and let live.
Yeah. Yeah, 10-2, the HD remaster added super bosses, so, just like this version did. And they are the hardest super bosses of 10-2. Even I had trouble beating some of them. I say that. I'm not like I'm the best at this game or anything. But I have a maxed out character. I've maxed out Riku, Yuna, and Pain with the best dress sphere in the game, and I was still losing. You'll see. Once I get there and actually 100% the story, my first playthrough, I'm going to go through the second playthrough, which the game requires you to play twice, only because the second playthrough, if you start focusing the monster capturing stuff, there's certain monsters that you capture only on second playthrough. But after that, I can basically kind of rush the game. So I have no problem with that at all. 10-2 is my favorite game, so it's easily enjoyable.
I'll be right back.
If its combat was like this, it'd be a lot less fun. The fact that it's still turn-based but with active time is a lot more fun. They literally make you think on your feet, and some of those fights, active time battle fights, are rough. Unlike this game, I'm actually gonna have to think strategy on that too when it comes to later fights. Either that or just. Why is Yuna almost dead? Because they hate her and been punching the crap out of her? Also because she's not very leveled. She's not very beefed up like Titus and War and Orin are. I don't really like Yuna's dress sphere isn't that far along. She's got a lot left to go. I mean, okay, that's more than I was expecting. But unfortunately for her, she's got weak defense though. But also, I don't know. Weak defense? You mean Lulu, not Yuna? Well, look at her health. Sorry, Lulu. That's more accurate. Also, I'm not a fan of the mages in 10. Yuna's like the only Yuna's my favorite character, so of course I use her. But I am not a fan of Lulu at all. I don't. When it comes to 10, I barely use magic. and even then, once those characters get up to once Lulu and Yuna get up to on par, which she already is. Once Lulu gets up on par, she's gonna be hitting physically. Yuna, I hit physically. I don't, even when I use them, I really don't use their magic that much. Throughout the story, yes, I will use Lulu. 10 is like the only game I really am just not a fan of magic. It is just too slow.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'd rather attack with Lulu's Onion Knight than use magic, and that's slower. That just says something. That's just less menu work for me.
Live and let live.
Also, I'm just really not much of a mage guy in general, though. I'm melee. I like my melee. Warriors, monks, dragoons, knights, dark mage, or not dark mage. Fucking dark knights, paladins, whatever it is.
Live and let live.
Yuna's my favorite character, but I still don't really care for summoning and white magic. Nice. Oh, you're dead. Can I please get coward? And Yuna's gotta be fucking close. It's only 900, I swear. Lulu requires 980. She's most likely started at 0, which sucks.
Live and let live.
Meaning I haven't ran with her yet at all. Prior to this, I would assume. Because I always focus getting that coward overdrive with everyone my main first, and then I focus the latter half. Orin I specifically focus first because his is fucking 1,000. 1,000 runs. Thanks. I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with this, the overdrive mode system. And its requirements. They're fucking ridiculous. I even freaking moved to the Gagazet area because it has a slightly higher freaking counter rate than the Calm Lands.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Yeah.
Live and let live.
Please. Don't read the text out loud, please. What? What? Huh? Okay. If it's personal, you can just message me. You don't have to send it here.
That won't go
There's
so
no one
easy
else
on you
who's gonna
next
hear
time.
it. Even if I did read it out loud. I wasn't gonna read it out loud. I don't read my texts out loud. What do you take me for? He just feels like I'm not trusted. I don't know why. I don't know why people don't trust me. I read out loud so I can understand, because it's hard to explain. Like, I'm gonna forget that message in a second here. Like, I don't, it's hard to explain. I have to read out loud or my brain doesn't grasp information. It's not that I choose to read out loud, it's that I have to. It's how I think. It's how I grasp information. That's why I play games and read text out loud. It's how I grasp information. Half the time when I read in my head, I literally kind of just don't actually read it. It just goes over my head. Reading it is how it actually goes into my head. something helps you do that. Yes. Yes. Trial and error helps me learn rather than being explained. But you're dying. There we go. Yes. Well, that's not too much of a problem. I have USB to USB-C extensions.
Live and let live.
I have USB-A to USB-C or whatever port extension thingies, which is needed for my setup. Because all of my USB hubs are regular USB, so I need the USB converter. Heads. Comcast changed name to Xfinity to avoid lawsuits. From what? Where'd that come
I
from?
won't go so easy on you next time.
It's still Comcast to me. There's no... I mean, they could change it all they want. I still call it Comcast. It is not... I'm not calling it Xfinity, and I haven't ever. I mean,
I'll be
Sears
right back.
did the same thing. Changed names. It did. We have a tower here in Illinois called the Sears Tower. It changed to the Willis Tower. Just like how Twitter became X. And then the Sears I worked at was bought out by a company called Transformco.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Even though Sears is long gone now, nobody calls the Willis Tower the Willis Tower. They call it the Sears Tower. Just like nobody would have called the building I worked at in PA fucking Transformco. Even before we got let go, it was changed to Transformco.
I'll be right back.
Nope. But no, yeah. Just like Fios. Like, even though it's Verizon, I call Fios. I just call it Fios. Well, that was my internet. Now we have a different internet. But back in PA, we had Verizon Fios. Because for a while, we did have Xfinity or Comcast for our provider, and that's what we used to watch, like Comcast On Demand and all that. I never once called it Xfinity.
I'll be right back.
They do. Verizon does not. Verizon was fine. I don't know how they suck when it all feels the same to me. It's internet. And in fact, Verizon was the best service. Because it's what we've had
I'll be right back.
forever. My service is still Verizon. Or, yeah, Fios. For the longest time. And we're with Verizon. And I've been fine with it this whole time. I've never had issues. I don't know why people hate it. I wouldn't know because a phone service is a phone service. The worst connection I had was Comcast. In terms of like internet and TV. The Fios is what I was at using at PA, and it was the best internet we've had.
Easy on you next time.
It was the fastest internet we've ever had. Nobody here has landlines.
I'll be right
Nobody
back.
here has a landline phone. I haven't seen a landline phone since I was a teenager. And I don't mean in other people's houses, I mean in general. We have not had a landline phone in decades. I mean, we used to. We just stopped using them once cell phones became once smartphones became a massive thing. We stopped using landline
I won't
phones.
go so easy on you next time.
We used to have landlines for a while, but then cell phones became the norm. And smartphones came out.
Let live.
Once smartphones got perfected to where it's at now, just like how Wi-Fi, I have not.
I won't go
No
so
one
easy on you
really
next
uses
time.
Ethernet, aside from like the connection box. Most people may run their consoles and games with Ethernet cables. I have not done that since like the Dreamcast, PS2, GameCube era. Then again,
I'll be
GameCube
right
had the
back.
modem too. I hate them. They're worse to me. They are worse in my eyes than Wi-Fi by a long standard. Because you gotta connect the cable. That right there makes it worse. I don't care if its internet is better with it, it's worse. Just like how wired controllers will always be beat by wireless. Because cable. I don't care if it improves connection because it's connected directly. It's worse. The moment you have to connect a cable to something and have it strung out your house, there is no way anyone uses it. I'm sorry. If people can sit there and say they use it, I don't believe you. Because you're stretching an entire cable across your house. Fuck that. That's coming from my experience. Every time I've used an Ethernet cable for my cable for playing for playing online consoles, it has always been strewn across my house. There's no way I'm gonna use a cable. It is worse. I'm a gamer, dude. I really don't care. I play games. I'm able to play games. That's all that
I'll be
matters.
right back.
So there's no need for an Ethernet cable. Then you just have ass internet. Because I can stream games, stream TV, fine.
Live and let live.
Well, Comcast, maybe you should change that. Comcast got worse the moment they upped their price for the same packages. They're still the same thing, though. I will never go to Ethernet. Ethernet sucks. Just like PCs. If you're a gamer, PCs don't matter.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
I'm just a gamer. So computers are useless to me. Laptops is the way to go. Huge as in what? Like 20 people? Because my family ain't small, dude. It was 6 people.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
And you're assuming I had like nothing connected. You're assuming I never took the Ethernet cable for my Dreamcast or stuff like that and took all the internet to the point where you couldn't even pick up a phone without disconnecting me from it. You're assuming my family is small when it was 6 people. Sure, yes, maybe you've had more, but that doesn't mean anything. You're still proving my point.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
I mean, yes, your family's bigger than mine. Oh well. I still don't get what your point is.
I won't go so easy on you
Ethernet
next
still
time.
sucks. The fact that you can't have all those things connected with an Ethernet cable makes it suck. The fact that you can have all that connected with Wi-Fi proves it's better.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
You're not gonna win this. Ethernet sucks. I don't give a fuck.
I'll be right back.
Just like to me, all gaming consoles are the same thing. And there's no point to have a frickin' home PC when you can just buy a laptop. It does the same things. It's not going to be any less, any weaker, by any means whatsoever. If people can play games on a console, they can play games on a laptop. No, I've never had that problem.
Live and let live.
Dude, you're gonna spend thousands on a computer. What's the point? You're spending the same amount of money.
Right back.
For what, though? You're doing the same things. Gaming isn't that demanding. And I don't even play that demanding of games.
I
So
won't go
what is
easy
the
on you
point?
next time.
It saves me more money. Why would I want to spend another several $1,000s more? I only paid about $3,000, two and a half grand. I'd rather
right
that,
back.
and I have far more space.